Welcome to Pelvic Biz Podcast. I'm Dr. Kelly Alhui. I've grown my pelvic health practice, orthopelvic physical therapy, and now I'm helping pelvic health professionals do the same. Each week, I give you the knowledge you need to grow your practice. Let's get into today's episode. We're going to talk about how when life gets overwhelming, what the heck to do. So this is in personal life, business life, all the things. When all the things come together and they collide, what do we do? So here's some tips. Number one, this week to me has been a crazy week for me. I had my father-in-law nearly pass. He's been battling ALS, and we thought this was going to be the last time we see him. He's been in hospice care, and he's been going in and out of the hospital because he wasn't breathing, and it's just been a crazy week. So that's, something that has been extremely overwhelming for us because this has been dealt with at like 1-2 o'clock in the morning of all this stuff. So that's been stressful. We also sold our rental property, and then we also put in a offer on a home in California. It got accepted, and then we decided to back out, which I'll create another whole podcast on this later. It was our dream for the past 5 years to do that. The dream was coming true, and then we decided to back out for many different reasons, but that's clearly stressful. The market is still hot, just FYI, it's very hot. They had multiple offers, multiple things, and but we won it, and then backed out. And then on top of that, I had a PT. She was supposed to start in 3 weeks, and now she can't because she didn't pass her board. So now we have to wait till September, and she has a full caseload. So now I got to figure out, what am I going to do and how am I going to find someone to replace her within 3 weeks? And most of it takes about 3 months to have a pelvic floor therapist come into your practice. That's on average. So all that being said, guys, that's just life for the moment. All that being said, you got to take care of your health. You got to keep businesses running. You got to keep your life running, all the things. So here's what I've been doing, and I just want to give you guys some tips on when life gets overwhelming, because most of you guys have this overwhelm, whether or not it's a family issue, a child issue, your personal life issue, a business issue, whatever it may be, all of those coming together, it can be overwhelming. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks of what I've been doing. So number one, always resort back to a routine. In the morning, get my tea. I never used to drink tea. Now I drink tea. It's something that's like warm and fuzzy. And I go sit on my balcony outside, let the sun hit me, and I just take some breaths. I do not touch my phone. It's honestly been the biggest game changer, allowing my phone not to be with me and just being able to think and process without distractions or problem solving at 6 o'clock in the morning when I wake up. So that has been amazing. So you've got to stick to routine, no matter like how chaotic you think your life is, and you think, oh my gosh, I got to work from 6 a.m. in the morning till 10 o'clock at night to solve all these problems. Yes, but if you do that, you will also burn yourself out very quickly. So number one, stick to what fills your cup first thing in the morning. You have to give to yourself first. That is a must. Also, if you want to go for a walk, then like I go for a walk. So I make myself do that before I touch my phone. I almost not have this anxious energy, but I'm almost like, okay, I got to get to my phone because I know there's problems I got to solve. So let me do my self-care, and then I get to go solve all these problems. I don't know. Maybe I'm psycho, but I like solving problems every day. So you got to get that in first. And it can be 20 minutes long. It can be an hour long, whatever you want. Then I always say, pivot, don't panic. Pivot, don't panic. The biggest part of that is you've got to think. So instead of being like, okay, I got to do this, and then I got to do this, and then I got to do blah, 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 and then you're thinking about all that in your head, and you'll get so overwhelmed you won't do anything. So instead, the next step is make a list. Write out what the problem is, and put it in one whole column, like down a sheet, or put it in your note section on your phone. Every single problem. Problem number 1 is this. Problem number 2 is this. Problem number 3 is this. Okay. Then next to it, write out what the solution is. Think This takes time. You've got to spend like an hour thinking, but only focus on that one problem that you have in front of you because you just wrote all your problems out. So there shouldn't be your mind racing like, oh yeah, I got to do this, and then I got to do this, and I got to do this. No, focus on that one problem. So for me, it's like, okay, I have 3 weeks to find a pelvic health PT. Good luck. So that's my brain's telling me, okay? So now, what is the solution that I can do to find a pelvic health PT? Solution number one, look up all PT practices and see who's employed there and start stalking them and seeing if anyone wants a job. Number two, contact a recruiter. Contacted 3 of those. Number, what, 4? Am I on? 3 or 4? Message anyone and everyone that I've interviewed in the past for a position and see if they're open to coming into clinic. Number 5, look on LinkedIn who's in the area and who has pelvic PT next to their name. Number 6, go on Facebook groups and see if anyone is looking for a job and post that you have a job opening. Number 7, post on your own social media on any platform that you have access to that you are hiring. Number 8, post on Indeed, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, all the things to find a pelvic health PT. So I'm literally coming up with the solution because I'm just focusing on one of the problems. Number 10 would be this is another thing, I'd write this down. What current resources do I have that can help me? So I have 2 part-time PTs. Can I put them in more hours? Yes, I can. So we're going to put them for more hours in the meantime and have them come on the schedule. Luckily, they're flexible. So we're going to do that. So that's solution number 2, solving the problem. And then number 3, what resources do I actually need? So I need a pelvic health PT. Okay, great. And then you just got to work through each problem. So that's my problem for PT. Now it's more settled in the fact of my mind is not racing going, oh God, how am I going to find a PT? How am I going to find a PT? Oh my God, it's going to take me 3 months. I can't do this. No, I can, because I just came up with a amazing plan of how I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to execute it. That's it. It's literally it. For my father-in-law, I really can't do much about that except just be there and provide him some support. So there's not really necessarily a great outcome / solution to that. For reaching my dream in my house, we're just giving up on that for the moment right now. So there's not really something I need to do for that. And then what else? Any other problems that come up? Like, you just learn to write out a list, problem one side, solution on the other, and start saying, how am I going to solve this problem? And allow yourself to think, and any thoughts that come through your head, you have to write it down, because if they're just still floating around your head, you're going to create more anxiety for yourself, and it's just not going to work out well, because those thoughts will keep coming and they'll just keep passing you by, and you're just going to be like, oh, okay, great, another thought, and you're going to be so tired of like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. So let's just say I had to hire an admin too. If I'm hiring an admin, same thing. I'm posting all over social media. I'm putting it on every job board. I'm asking my patients. I'm going through the same process. Okay. If I'm doing that while I'm trying to open up a clinic, okay, fine. If I need to open up a clinic, then what things do I need in the clinic? Make a list of that. Now, you don't have to get them all today, but what are the most important items that you then need to actually have your clinic function? The only thing you need to have your clinic function is lube, lotion, and a table. That's really it. So as long as you have that, you don't need the cute picture frame on the wall. You don't need the fancy pelvic model. Like, you don't need that stuff. So what do you have to make something actually work? That's where your brain's got to go, and it's got to help cure overwhelm. And I think, like I said, the biggest thing is just writing it down and checking it off the list, because if it's not on the list, you won't get it done. So it's got to be on that list to make it happen. This is just an example of overwhelm that I think is, really kind of a good lesson for everyone, that so many different things could be happening in life, business, or whatever, and you got to combine everything. It is all together. And that's the funny thing is, a lot of my mastermind people will come in because they want business coaching. But the reality is, It's lifestyle coaching. We talk about relationship things. We talk about business. We talk about diagnoses. We talk about patients. We talk about it all because guess what? It all falls under the same umbrella. And when life starts to get crazy, people start to freak out. But instead, pause, pivot, think. Pause, pivot, think. That's what you got to do. And when you can clear your mind to think, it's game over because you'll solve the problem and you'll solve it quick. So, lesson here is don't be overwhelmed. Make a list, a problem column, solution column. What are resources that you have right now that you can take and use to help solve some of those problems? If you don't have those resources, what resources do you need? Okay, then who has those resources that you need? And once you figure out who has those resources that you need, start asking, start posting, start doing whatever, and trying to get those clients or patients or people or employees to come over to hang out with you. And then there goes the overwhelm because you just solved your own problem. So hopefully you guys are not overwhelmed today and you're having a great day, but just wanted to give you a little lesson just on life and how to keep pushing and moving things forward, even when you feel like there's 20,000 things to do on your to-do list. I consider myself a business and life coach. Are you ready to live the life of your dreams as an entrepreneur? If so, let's chat. See the episode notes below and go ahead and book a call. See you all next week.